This is your midweek Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, December 4. A warm welcome to you. I am Marie-Claire Williams. Barbados must never become accustomed to violence in schools. The words of Prime Minister Mottley as she addressed the speech day and prize-giving ceremony of her alma mater, Queen's College, this evening. Mottley attended the funeral service of Frederick Smith Secondary School student 16-year-old Tamario Holder, who was fatally stabbed on November 8. She was adamant that the society must not tolerate violence, and she raised concern about the impact of technology on the behavior of children.
I know what it is to be in a Barbados where we've seen kids die in a school environment before. The young girl who died at Foundation. We've had incidents of violence, but we must never become accustomed to it. It must always outrageous. It must always offend us. And one of the concerns I have with the same video games and the absence of team sports, the absence of the lessons that you learn, like the one I just shared from Matt, is that you get so consumed. Not to mention that I feel a lot of people end up with arthritis when they get old, Dr. St. John. But you get so consumed that when you are killed, or you killing people in this game, you feel you can get up and continue. So when I ask the kids, and they say, yeah, but we go and eat lunch and we come back and we start back. I said, but you're dead. They said, no, we only dead on this. We could play again. And the simple message that in real life, when you're dead, seems to escape them.
Mottley stressed it is critical for the country to have a conversation about the issues facing the nation's children. She said teachers do not have all the solutions, but stressed that more hands are needed.
You see the school meals workers? You see the janitors? You see all who work on a school compound? More often than not, these have to be the real leaders in a school because they see children in their most natural environment. And we have to be able to take all of our workers who are ancillary workers and train them in leadership and treat them with the respect that they deserve as leaders in our institutions and not just the principal or heads of department. And we have equally then to reach out to the parents.
New internship opportunities may soon open in Africa for students here enrolled in the Faculty of Medical Sciences at the University of the West Indies Cavan campus. Word of this from Health Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic as he signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at deepening ties between the UWI and Queen Elizabeth Hospital today. This MOU was first formalized in 1967 and will cover the next 5 years. It provides for clinical training of UWI students in local hospitals and polyclinics. Principal of the UWI Cave Hill campus, the Most Honorable Professor Udine Barito, outlined other areas in which the university will collaborate with the Ministry of Health to ensure a higher standard of health care in Barbados.
The partnerships that we are now exploring with Kenya and with Ghana will enable us to train doctors, some of their doctors to help us earn revenue, but to allow our students to experience internships elsewhere. The reformalization of the MOU takes into consideration that our students will also be in the psychiatric hospital and the polyclinic, and therefore it is now widening the scope of where our students will now be able to practice and learn medicine.
In other news this Wednesday, Barbados will continue to benefit from the UK-EU development cooperation that lends assistance to poor and less developed countries. The United Kingdom has agreed to continue making contributions until next year, although it is not clear whether they will still be part of the European Union. This is one of the many changes to the economic partnership between CARICOM and the UK, outlined by Minister of Innovation, Science and Smart Technology, Kay McConney, who led the debate on the Economic Partnership Agreement Amendment Bill 2019 in the Senate today.
This new wording now allows goods to transit Europe without being deemed as having changed their origin. Now, for those who are non-trade specialists, there are certain criteria that goods have to make, say they're leaving Barbados to go into the UK under special preferential treatment. There are certain rules of origin criteria that says this has originated in Barbados. And what happens is that we have noticed that when a good goes from Barbados to another country, it doesn't always take a straight route. Sometimes it goes through a third country. It goes through a third country. Sometimes we will export product by bulk, but then it goes into a country before it gets to its final destination, and we break it down into small batches. We label it, we store it. What this particular text allows us to do is to ensure that when our products have to go through, transit through Europe, a third party in Europe, before it gets, say, to the UK, and any of these processes have to be applied to them, that they will still be deemed originating in Barbados and eligible to the preferential access when they get to the United Kingdom.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
On to regional news now. Dominica's President, Charles Savarin, has condemned the recent act of violence on the island. In an address to the nation last evening, he said he was disturbed by the videos of disruptive behavior in Marigot and videos showing the Bishop of Roseau being harassed and verbally abused. Describing the behavior as reprehensible, the president called on all church leaders to speak out. He also urged professionals and community-based organizations to similarly condemn the action and called for peace and respect for the rights of all to go about their legitimate business. On the international scene, constitutional law experts called by Democrats testified to the U.S. Congress today that President Donald Trump's actions to prod Ukraine to pursue investigations that could benefit him politically represent impeachable offenses. We get more in this Reuters report.
Harvard University law professor Noah Feldman.
On the basis of the testimony and the evidence before the House, President Trump has committed impeachable high crimes and misdemeanors by corruptly abusing the office of the presidency.
Stanford University law professor Pamela Karlan.
President Washington warned that history and experience prove that foreign influence is one of the most baneful foes of Republican government. And he explained that this was in part because foreign governments would try and foment disagreement among the American people and influence what we thought. The very idea that a president might seek the aid of a foreign government in his re-election campaign would have horrified them. But based on the evidentiary record, that is what President Trump has done.
The professors also argued that Trump's stonewalling of Congress undermined the Constitution. University of North Carolina professor Michael Gerhardt.
And if a president can block an investigation, undermine it, stop it, then the impeachment power itself as a check against misconduct is undermined completely.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good evening.